Good morning. This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. You're listening live on 101 WRIF. Everything that rocks. Don't forget, you can always see us on all our socials: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, X, amongst others. We are looking at doing an OnlyFans for Hired Done. Maybe, maybe not. Anyways, this is the Home Improvement Radio Show. Teaches you, the homeowner, how to fix, repair, or remodel everything within the four corners of your lot. Now, remember this, my friends. Hire It Done is not a do-it-yourself show. However, I'm not anti-do-it-yourself. I'm just pro-do-it-for-me. What does that mean? It means like from the neck down, I'm worth minimum wage. It means like if you need a contractor, you come to me because that's the life I lived. I grew up being a contractor. I grew up on the side of, hey, let's find a guy to build the deck while we spend time with our family. It's real. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't make us better. It just makes us the type of people that, hey, when you don't want to do it yourself and you want to hire it done, where do you go? Who do you talk to? Who's going to give you the advice that's going to save you the more pay? Remember, your checkbook used to be your most important tool in your toolbox. It used to be. And I used to, listen, I love that statement. I hijacked it. It was originally designed and developed or invented by Glenn Hagee. And he was America's master handyman. But today, it's not your checkbook. It's not. The most important tool, my friends, in your toolbox, is time. You heard it. Time. Time is the new currency. Remember that. In fact, I'm going to quiz you later in the show. And I'm going to say, what's the most important tool in your toolbox? And you're going to text me 248-927-1985. That's the text line. If you have a question, by the way, also 248-927-1985. You can text me that question, but I'm going to ask that at the end of the show. What is the most important tool in your toolbox? And if you say your checkbook, I'll give you a high five. But if you say time, because that's the new, then you win. You go to the front of the home improvement class. And so what do we got going on today? Well, here we are, close to Thanksgiving. I'm thinking about turkeys, thinking about this and that. And what do you do around your house? What's your home improvement list this week, this month? Are you thinking about renovating? Are you thinking about hiring a contractor? Maybe, just maybe you're frustrated and anxiety's spinning and you're not sure what to do. And you're like, maybe I'll move. Maybe I'll improve. What do? Move or improve? Well, guess what? Today I have one of the rock stars in the real estate business of Metro Detroit. She's going to be coming on after the first break. Her name's Tracy Freeman, TSF Homes. And not only is she the number one real estate agent around, she's low key. She doesn't want anyone to know that, but I'm blabbing it out there. She's better than all of them. I know I have family in the real estate business and I have advertisers and I have this and that, but I'm telling you the GOAT. Okay. And we're going to be asking Tracy all the tough questions. Why should I list my house now? What do you look for when you're hiring a realtor? What questions you want to ask? Because, when it's like, hey, I have a house. I want to sell it in, I think it's worth $1 million. Does the realtor that you interview tell you, oh, I'll get you 1.2? Does the realtor that you're interviewing say, listen, I know you want $1 million, but to be honest, I did a little research. Your neighborhood only gets you 750. I mean, think about that, friends. Are you going to go with the person who says, I'll get you 1.2? Or are you going to give the person who's going to be real, legit? Who's going to bust their ass? Oh, once they get your listing, they just put it on the MLS, multiple listing services, or whatever MLS stands for. I'll ask her what it means. But those are the questions we're going to talk about. And we're going to say, how long is too long? Should the house sell right away? I mean, you hear all these rumors. You hear all these things. Oh, I got above listing. We listed it on Friday, and Monday we had 5 offers. Let's talk. We're going to bring reality into the picture today, okay? We're going to set the expectations for every homeowner who's thinking of selling. How long should it take? How much time should you give your realtor? And then should you have the conversation, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate Agent, you listed my house, but in 30 days, if no offers, no showings, or something doesn't happen, what are you going to do for me? Ask them to tell you. Don't tell them what you want. Ask them to tell you. That way you can assess. You can make it however you want. And that's it. So what if you're in New Jersey, right? Roseland, whatever the city is. What if you're watching right now and you're like, hey, maybe I'll move to Michigan, right? Code words. You never know. It's just how it is. You know, what if you want to like put your name on a billboard? See, I got you. I know what's going on, folks. Anyways, what do you got going around your house this weekend? Are you turning your heat on? Guess what? Did you know the inside air of your house, the air quality in your house is 5 to 10 times dirtier than the outside air? So what are you going to do? You turn your furnace on for the first time and it's heating the house and you hear this explosion. And the ductwork's shaking through the house. You're like, what the heck is this? Houston, we have a problem. And by the way, I'm schwitzing. It's really hot in here, Roberto. Like I'm in my podcast studio. We broadcast live. It's a beautiful studio. If you want to see us, you can go live on Instagram, Facebook. I don't know, everywhere. YouTube. My thing, my friends, is it's hot in here, and I'm on live radio, so I can't like turn the heat down unless I had the app. Ooh, I better spend some more money. Anyways. Shout out to all my listeners today, as you know. In fact, if you have a question this morning, you can text me, 248-927-1985. That's the private text line to the Hire It Done Studios. Please keep it PG. I know all the ladies love to say things to me, and I love it. But keep it PG. And, of course, Roberto, who's asking for a shout-out today?
It's on already.
No, who's asking for a shout-out? You
Mr. Positive.
Mr. Positive. What up? Healthy would love a shout out on Mr. Positive. Everybody's go for your dreams. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Positive, for tuning in today. He's my one and only listener, I think. Just kidding. Anyways, if you're turning the heat on in your house, think about your air filter. Think about the air quality. And how do you even run your furnace? Let me give you the basics of furnace or thermostats for dummies. First of all, everyone should have a digital programmable thermostat, one that has digits, not a knob, not a twist. The old twist Honeywells, those are cool. They're kind of like antique-ish and they work, but they're not able to save you money. And here's the deal. I want to save you some money. So here's what we got to do. You got to get a digital programmable thermostat. You go to a big box store. Guess what happens? You buy one. You can get one for $20. You can get an expensive one, with the app and all the bells and whistles like I have for a couple $100. Professionally installed too, by the way. But let's just get a basic one because the basic one pays for itself in a month or two. We'll think about it. So what does a programmable digital thermostat do? So first of all, you turn the fan, or turn it on heat or cool, right? Put on heat. And then fan on auto or on? That's the question. What do you do, friends? Guess what? Fan on, not auto. And I'm screaming. Fan on. Why? Because what happens is you're circulating the air. And when you have a high efficiency furnace, and most people do today, that fan is spinning all the time. And it uses electricity, of course, but it's a high efficiency. So it's only using like 18 cents. And what it's doing, though, is it's circulating the air through your house and scrubbing it through your filter, which you have to change monthly, please. And it cleans the air. Less dust. But better air quality. Did you know that parents today, their kids are on inhalers, respiratory issues? Guess what? I've been saying it for years, and now they're finally following the leader, me. Respiratory issues on children are starting and are actually coming out of the home. Do you know that like you can get terrible asthma and allergies from dry cleaning, picking up your dry cleaning in those bags? It's called VOCs, volatile organic compounds. It's off-gassing. And so you got to clean the air. You think you come in your house and it's great? No, you got to clean the air. So put the fan on and set the thermostat temperature. Now, here's the best part of the programmable. You go to work, let's say you leave your house at 8 to go to work and you don't come home till 5. From 8 to 5, why are you heating your house 72 degrees? According to the Department of Energy, lower the temperature 3 degrees. For every 3 degrees that you lower your temperature over an 8-hour period, so 8 hours from 8 a.m. to 8 hours more, which is 4 p.m. really. If you lowered it 3 degrees, so let's say you kept it at 72, went to 69, even though I like to keep it at 66. I'm one of them. But you save 10%, just about 10% on your heat bill every month. So if you have a $300 heat bill, 10% is $30. Do you know how many Little Caesars pizzas that is? It's one small tomatoes a pizza, but right? It's worth it though. But think about it. Feed the family. And that's what we do here at Hire It Done. I'm trying to save you a little bit of money. I know. People are like, what is this? I can't help myself. But My point is for you, my friends, is turn your heat on for the first time and you're good to go. And that's what I just want to make sure that you understand and that we're all on the same page with what we do here. So that's how you're going to turn it on. You're going to turn it off. Now, we can talk all you want about heating and cooling for hours upon hours, but we have so much to talk about today where, I've got my real estate agent, Tracy Freeman in studio, and we're going to be gearing up. So if you have a question about listing your house, if you have a question about staging, is staging still a thing? What's clutter to you and clutter to them, right? Do we have to bake chocolate chip cookies while the people are looking in my open house? I would be eating them all, to be honest. That reminds me, scented air filters for your furnace. We've talked about it in the past. In fact, I was the guy who invented it 10 years ago. I just never followed through. Roberto can prove. I have archives that say add scent to your heating and cooling. So when you put the fan on in the air filter, it's got a little chocolate chip cookie, vanilla, something good.
New car scent.
Yeah, new car smell. Right. Exactly. Why not? Anyways, there's a lot of scents you can get today. My whole point is when they come to the open house, you want to trick them. Don't let them know you were a smoker, but it is what it is. All right, we're going to take a break. Don't forget, if you have a question, 248-927-1985. Text me. Tire it done. My name's Adam Helfman. We're going to be taking a quick break. We've got Tracy Freeman in studio. If you want to see us live, we're here. Go to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. We're all live. Just type in Hire It Done. You'll find me. And thank you for Camber, Bruce, Brian Lee, Metro Home Improvement, Grace. Everybody's listening today. We're on fire. My name's Adam Helfman. You're listening to Hire It Done on 101 WRIF. Everything that rocks. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. 248-927-1985 is the number. You have any real estate questions? Are you a realtor? Well, guess what? You want to be in the real estate business? I have Metro Detroit's fastest growing, most AAA platinum reputation, hitting the market by storm, in studio right now. Her name's Tracy Freeman. Her company, TSF Homes Inc. or no, tsfhomes.com, excuse me. She's a KW domain, right?
Yes.
She's from KW domain, but as you know, you got to brand yourself. And her and I crossed paths over the summer, and I was impressed with her grit, her triple sharp abilities. And I'm like, yeah, here's a person that I identify right away as someone who's like a star. So without further ado, I want to welcome you to the show, Tracy.
Thank
My
you.
name at Hire It Done. For you, tell the audience, you've been on the podcast, so
Yeah.
let's introduce you to the radio show since you're on the radio show now. Tell everyone all about you and what you do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Of course.
So I've been a realtor in Metro Detroit for about 5 years. By way of background, I'm a CPA, so I spent some time in public accounting. I worked in investor relations at a $10 billion private credit shop. So I bring a financial background to every real estate transaction that I think a lot of realtors in the industry kind of lack that type of knowledge. So I'm based in Oakland County, serve the Tri-County area, and thrilled to be here today.
Well, thank you. So you made your way from Chicago over here.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Chicago. We've been in Metro Detroit for about 5 years.
Unbelievable. And you're CPA by trade as well?
That's correct.
So let me ask you a question, not to like mix the two because it's like oil and water a little bit, but debits equal credits, right? If I have like a tax liability or like if someone asks you a question while in a transaction for real estate or, hey, I want to sell the house, but it's not my primary residence or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you give them and like, listen, you're going to pay taxes or transfer tax or you're going to pay taxes. Do you ever like explain that to people?
Yeah. So I have a lot of tools, where I can explain to people. They don't always know, I want to sell my house. What am I going to net? What are the costs associated with selling my house? And I have a really great sheet where I can break everything down for them. If they have more of a nuanced question, I got to be careful. I can't necessarily provide financial advice, but I have a lot of wonderful resources, attorneys, CPAs, tax professionals that I can direct my clients to.
Love that. Love that. So 248-927-1985. If you have a question for Tracy for TSF Homes, she's in studio right now. We just had one. Hi, I have a question for TSF Homes. What should sellers focus on to get the highest price for their home in this market?
Yeah. So there's a lot of small improvements that homeowners can make before taking their home to market. A lot of times when I'm speaking with prospective sellers, they're like, do I have to put in a new kitchen? Do I have to finish my basement? Should I repaint the exterior of my home? And my answer is always spend as little as possible in order to get your home ready for sale. So if you're looking at a kitchen that's maybe a little bit dated, instead
Sure.
of painting the cabinets or putting a new countertop, why don't we change out the hardware on the cabinets?
So a mini makeover.
Mini makeover, because inevitably what you
Smart.
may do, the prospective buyer is like, I don't like gray. I don't like brown. I wouldn't pick this. And you're never going to get all that money back out of it. So light refreshes we can do. We can clean the carpets. We can power wash the exterior, but we're not going to start doing like whole home
So
rehab.
small fix-ups as opposed to major renovations.
Definitely.
So let me ask you this, because this is something that I find interesting. Homeowners put their house up for sale. No one has a crystal ball. Wait, do you have a crystal ball?
I wish.
Okay, you didn't bring one today.
No.
Damn it. Okay, so my point is, no one has a crystal ball, so no one can say who's buying the house. And then that means no one can say when someone walks up to the house and is it true? I've heard this in the past, Tracy. Buying decisions are made in the first couple minutes when they walk up to the house.
Yeah,
is that true?
Usually.
It
Yeah.
is. Okay.
Yeah. I think the
Curb appeal.
Curb appeal is huge. Getting your home ready for sale. So when we talk about things we've talked about before is staging. So a lot of
Right.
times people are like, oh, do I need to bring in like all new, dining room table or a sofa?
Right.
We don't need to do that, but we need to make your home visually appealing. We need to put away personal mementos. We need somebody to be able to drive up to your home, walk in the front door, and envision their own family living there.
So that's the goal, is to make them start to think about themselves living there.
Exactly.
So decluttering a house.
Yeah.
See, some people think, oh, look at my house is fine. And I'm walking in and I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, this person's a hoarder. What's going on here? And they're like, what are you talking about? I don't have boxes 10 feet high. They're only 4 feet high.
I see that all the time.
Right. So here's for me, like I'm a hypersensitive, hyper aware man.
Uh-huh.
I'm also OCD, right? Well, I'm not diagnosed. Yeah, I am. I'm OCD. The point I'm making is I'm sensitive to smells. If I walk into a house and there's like curry, or I'm smelling, turmeric, or I'm smelling a cigarette, like a Marlboro, or even like marijuana, right? You smell that now,
right?
Like I didn't know what that smelled like until like recently, since this dispensaries and stuff. I don't know if that's already going to turn the light switch off on me and be like, you ain't buying this house, Helfman. Pass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So do you ever walk in and say, listen, Mrs. Jones, we have to do a little bit of a scent?
Yeah, but I really don't like the fake scents, because when I walk into
like the vanilla
home,
and it's terrible too.
Yeah, I agree. Open the windows, get the carpets clean, have somebody come in and do like a big commercial clean. Yeah. But I think like when you start doing those plugins or spraying,
Right.
I think that at least when I walk into a home with prospective buyers, when I represent the buyers, I'm like, what are they masking? When you walk down in the basement,
that's the mask. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So the question I have is like, should you tell homeowners, here's the secret list to look for when you go looking at houses? Count the air fresheners in the plugins, right? How many plugins are there?
Yeah.
Take the couch that they usually all sit in, or the one chair, and put your finger, run it across the wall above the headline, and then look at your finger and you'll be like, oy. Like, yeah, this guy's smoking Marlboros, or, it's just like there's a little bit of schmutz or skuts. Yeah, we don't need any of that, right? By the way, if anyone has a question, 248-927-1985. We've got Tracy Freeman, TSF Homes in studio. If you're thinking of selling your house, you're thinking of listing your house, you need a triple sharp realtor that's aggressive, assertive, and will give you all the right facts without, what I'll say, sugarcoating it. So you don't have to like be put into a corner. She's the one. Trust me when I tell you, I've seen her in action. I've participated in a couple transactions, and I will say that there's a certain level of professionalism that you look for in a realtor. She probably exceeds in every category.
Thank you.
Which is, important, because look at real estate agents. It's like the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the business is done by 20% of the realtors.
Definitely.
However, I believe it's like 90-10 in real estate. It's that higher. You always see realtors with their face on the billboards everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see your face on a lot of stuff. I just see social medias that say sold every day, everywhere.
Thank you.
So tell me, like, do you have a secret you can share? Is there like a recipe for anyone who maybe want to get in the real estate agent? If they're a real estate agent that's aggressive or someone that's working, but they're just not getting momentum, should they call you? Are you building a team? Like,
I am building a team.
oh,
Yes.
you are. So
yeah.
maybe someone should call you.
So I'm interviewing great agents all the time to join my team. We have 3 of us right now, potentially a 4th coming on soon. But I'm always looking for really sharp agents, smart agents, honest agents to join the
Honest,
team.
I like that one.
Yeah, because when you were saying, what were we just talking about? How agents will say, "Oh, I'll get you X."
Just to get the listing.
I don't like to do that because I need to be honest with my clients, realistic with my clients. So if somebody says, I think my home is worth X,
Mhm.
I try to go and get market data. What has sold in this? Oh, excuse me. What has sold in this community? What condition is your home in compared to
Right.
these other homes that have sold, so that we can paint a realistic picture and not just go off our emotions or our guts? Like, what can we see has transacted in the market within the past year and a half? What's for sale in your community? What are we going to be up against? Are there other similar homes?
So there's strategies too. There's a lot of work that you
Yes.
have to do.
Yes.
It's not just put it on the listing and then hope it sells.
Correct.
How popular are open houses today with the social media and everything being virtual? Are
Yeah.
open houses still a thing?
Open houses are still a thing. I have very mixed feelings on them. If you want to do them as a seller, of course we can do it. We can hold open houses. I think that any serious prospective buyer is going to come through with their own agent. I think you get a lot of looky-loos, you get a lot of nosy neighbors.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So does it happen? Do people wander in open houses and, buy a house? Sure, of course it happens. But I think that serious buyers are going to come through, have a private showing, get the guidance of their agent, aren't necessarily
Right.
going to come through, check out what kind of cookies you have on the table and,
Really?
decide they want to buy. Yeah.
Well, I think the kind of cookies on the table will see how indicate if the seller is really interested in negotiating or not.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they're Keebler cookies or they Marty's cookies
Yeah.
or are they crumble cookies.
Yeah.
Like if there's a dozen crumble cookies on them, they're like, listen, buy my house.
We're serious.
We're desperate to sell this.
Yeah.
And that's where, they're like, whatever. It is what it is. So that makes, I get it. And it makes perfect sense to me. So what about when you deal with a homeowner and they say, yeah, we got to sell this house. And then you go there and you're like, oy, like, is there a checklist that you have that like says, okay, visual, scent, clutter,
Yeah.
like the no's. What's a hard no? Like as far as when you say to the homeowner, listen, I don't think I can list your house. Or, like, is it at bad expectations?
Yeah.
What would tell you to a homeowner that, listen, I'm going to have to pass on listing your home?
Well, I think it kind of goes back to a lot of that pricing. So if somebody is, dead set on, I want to list it at, X, and I
Sure.
think it's worth Y, sometimes I say, let's try your strategy. And there's no other agent in this community that will work as hard as I will to get you X. If that's what you think your home is worth and that's what you need to net, I will work, to get you that. But I say, if we're not going to get traction,
Yeah.
if we don't get showings and you are serious, if you really do need to move, if there's a little bit of a time pressure here,
Of course.
why don't we say after 2 weeks, no traction, we lower it to this price? And that way we have set expectations. They know what my marketing plan is. They know that I'm going to be working really hard
Right.
to get prospective buyers in there at that initial price. But if we can't get the traction and we need to sell the house, we know what we're going to do to be more aggressive in the market.
Makes perfect sense. We're talking with Tracy Freeman. She's a realtor out of Metro Detroit, handles the whole Southeast Michigan. TSF Homes Inc. No, TSFHomes.com, excuse me.
I may have to rebrand though.
Right. Yeah.
Inc.
I don't know why I
sounds
say
nice.
Inc. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little pro.
Yeah.
So she's in studio with me. We're talking about real estate agents. We're talking about listing your home. We're talking about the market. The question I have, Tracy, is let's do a scenario. I have a friend who owns a condo, Bloomfield Hills, and location prime.
Okay.
Prime location, like Boardwalk Park Place, right? For Bloomfield Hills. It's a condo though. In every condo in the association, it's like 30, 40 condo units.
Okay.
All beautiful. Most of them are ranches. The selling price on average is $880 to just under $1 million. This person renovated this condo, beautifully to the T's. And I'm telling you, like, I have an eye for that stuff.
Mhm.
Kind of did it my whole life.
Yeah.
And I'll say I share the lady's taste, and it's as good as it gets. And it's the taste for the buyer of the area. So it's magnificent. However, the selling price is a little bit higher than they've ever had. So let's say 880 was the last sale there, and they're at 1.2. Now,
Okay.
I believe the house is worth or the condo's worth 1.2. I do truly believe it, but it's been on the market now 3 months, probably.
Yeah.
And in that hot area, I think
It should have sold.
right now we don't know what the real estate agent that she has or what's going on there, so it can't like say woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like it's an armchair quarterback for us. However, if you were to present it with this scenario, and you don't have all the facts, and I don't either, what would you do? Like the homeowner says to you, "Hey, look, I have this condo. I'm renovated it.
Mhm.
I want to sell it," and they call you. They hear this show and they say, "Hey." What would you say to the homeowner? Like, let me come look at it. Let me look at, because it's already listed and it's not sold.
Right.
How do you come in? Like, it's like when someone calls another contractor on me, I get all mad. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you handle that professionally?
Yeah. So I think it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about in examining the market data.
Sure.
And so these are sometimes really tough conversations when people have invested and upgraded their home and they're like,
Right.
well, I got to get my money out. And so, if it's been on the market 3 months and they're not getting good traction, they haven't had offers, perhaps that is the market telling them that there isn't a buyer at that price. It might be a great location. It might, be completely updated. But
Right.
if no one's, because the market is still hot. The inventory is still relatively low in
It
Oakland
is.
County, especially in Bloomfield Hills. Ranch condos, there is, so much demand for ranch condos. People are downsizing. People are getting older. They want, just to be on one level.
I love I live in a ranch. I love it.
Ranches are wonderful, but
Right.
I just that's telling me kind of the bells are going off that there isn't a buyer at 1.2. And so that's when I think we have to sometimes have those honest, tough conversations of looking at the market data, seeing how, pressed they are to sell their
Yeah,
asset.
they're really not in a big hurry. They're renovating another place right now.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because it makes sense, because a real estate agent sometimes has to tell the truth.
Right.
Not sometimes, they should always tell the truth, but they should have that conversation that's not the most comfortable. Mrs. Jones, your expectations are way too high for 1.2 billion. I would say 1.1, 1.09, and then see where you're at.
Mhm.
Because when you hit the 1 million threshold, it changes. Does it change the buyer from 880? Or if someone who can pay 80 can also pay 1.2 probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean,
You just don't know.
it depends. Exactly. Everyone is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the homeowner says to you, okay, I'd like to cancel my listing with the other person and I'd like to go with you.
Mhm.
Do you set new expectations, obviously?
Right. And I think every realtor approaches things differently. Perhaps this agent who's holding this, 1.2 listing said that they could get it for them. I like to, say, here's the market data.
Sure.
Because think about it. When I represent the buyers and they walk through a condo, a ranch condo in great area in Bloomfield, and they're like, oh, this is great. I love it. I need to have it. What else has sold in this community? So then I go in the MLS, I pull what has
History.
sold. Exactly. They see 800, 850, 880, and they're like, why am I going to pay 1.2?
Yeah, but if you give the reason why it's 1.2, and let me just play devil's advocate
Yeah.
with you, is because I just spent $150,000 on a new master bath with matchbook, porcelain, marble, everything,
Mhm.
quartz. It's done to the T's. It's in the most beautiful condo. Now, obviously, it's priced that way too, though. So I guess you either leave it at that and hope the market catches up, or you just say, I'm not lowering the price till I'm ready to, be more aggressive, I guess.
And either strategy works. It depends on the motivations of the seller. If they can wait, and they want to wait for that 1.2 number, great. But if they want to sell, if they know where they're going, if they need the cash from that sale, perhaps we look at the other sales in the community and update the price accordingly.
So that's important. And I thought, and that makes perfect sense the way you just described that. We're talking with Tracy Freeman. She's a local realtor here in Metro Detroit, tsfhomes.com. And Tracy, if anyone has a question, by the way, for Tracy, text us in studio. 248-927-1985 is the private text line for the Hire Done show here on 101 WRIF. You can also watch us in studio live on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and X, LinkedIn, and we're everywhere. But here's what I want to say. I want to say, if you're thinking of selling your home, are you thinking about, well, I'll do it in the spring when the kids are out of school, or, early summer, or now? Tracy, what is there ever a better time to list, or is every time now the time? What is your opinion of that?
I honestly think whenever you are ready, whenever you need to move, is a great time to sell. People in this market move 12 months a year.
As opposed to like different markets.
Yeah, like Metro Detroit, I would say is not a huge rental market. Where I come from in Chicago, huge rental market. So there is a push to sell May, June, July as people come up on their leases.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
So here, like I personally bought my home in November. People really move 12 months a year. So, if you're thinking about it, you want to get ready, let's chat. Let's have a conversation. Let's look at what's going on in the market. Inventory is still so low. There are still so many buyers that are out there who are trying to move. They don't care that there's snow on the ground. They want to find where they're going to be for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So even if, sometimes people think, oh, it's not ideal. There's snow on the ground. Where am I going to go?
That's nice.
It doesn't matter.
So how important, when listing a house, how important is it if I'm a homeowner and I'm going to list my house with you? Do we have this conversation with you before I list it about, all right, Adam, you're selling the house, but what if we've got a buyer who wants you out in 30 days? Are you going to converse with me on where am I going? What am I doing? Like, because then I'm going to be like, hey, Tracy, you need to find me a house at the same time. I can't sell this till you find me something, but I'm not buying anything till this is sold. That's that whole catch-22 BS, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that scenario has come across your desk. How do you handle that?
All the time, because most people can't hold on to 2 mortgages, right? So what I like to do is get the seller set up with a search in the MLS. I like to show them like, okay, you want to be keeping on the Bloomfield example. You want to be in Bloomfield. You need this many bedrooms. We think we want to spend, about this price point. I like to show them what they can get for their money, right? I like to show them some things that are out there. We can get their home ready for list. And in that list, we can note that the seller needs, 60 plus days of occupancy. So this is huge. So after you close, which closes are usually 30 days, you can still stay in the house. You are now essentially a tenant in your own home for, call it 60 days. So from the time we close to the time you have to be out, you really have 3 months.
So November 1st, let's say we close. I got all of November, all of December, and then all of January if proper. If it's set and everyone agrees. Now, what if I say to the homeowner, listen, you can have occupancy for 6 months. These are like where you would negotiate for me and say, all right, the homeowner wants you to pay rent after 3 months. And then you negotiate the rent price, or is it whatever the mortgage is, or whatever? It all depends.
Yeah. I mean, once you go past the 60 days, you kind of really then have to set up more of a lease situation.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I ask you to like, just help me through
of course
that.
I can help that. Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Is it hot in here, Roberto?
It didn't get cool enough.
No, it's warm in here.
I am being menopausal today. We'll have to get Grace at the next break to turn the air on.
Your hoodie on camera.
Really? I don't think so, Roberto. Maybe. Depends if enough people ask. What does Camber think? She's probably not listening anymore. Camber, if you're listening, I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. We'll see if she pops in. Brian Lee will be like, don't be putting any of that on, which is okay, which we all know. So what happens when, Tracy, if someone says to you, oh my God, this house is great, but it needs a basement. It needs a bathroom. It needs a kitchen. It needs an addition. How do you navigate the homeowner and say, yeah, well, you can put all that in after you buy it. You don't want to do it contingent upon or anything like that.
Right.
Do you give homeowners advice? Say, listen, this neighborhood, if you're paying X, let's say it's $1 million neighborhood, and the homeowner's getting it for like 1.50, right? And then they're like, but I got to do a new kitchen. Do you say to them, look, the average homeowner is spending 7-8 years in a house or more now, and you're gonna every dollar you put in, you're gonna get a return. Do you give them advice on that, or you just
Yeah, it goes a little back to that crystal ball. I wish I had that crystal ball, but if you look at, again, staying on our Bloomfield $1 million example, home prices have historically only gone up here, over time. And so if somebody's worried, like, oh, but if I put in a kitchen, am I going to get it back? If you're staying here for 5, 10, 15 years, at least if we look at historical data, yes, again, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say for certain, but yes, make big improvements to your home like that, and you are going to stay there for a decade plus, chances are, yes, your home will continue to appreciate over time.
It's interesting that's a good opinion, and I happen to concur. I tell homeowners, look, if you're going to buy a house and you're like, oh, if part of the decision is, am I going to get my money back? Which, by the way, is common sense. It's okay to think that. But most people, homeowners, forget to add into that equation the value or the enjoyment, the percentage of enjoyment, the actual enjoyment value. What's that worth? To me, that's priceless. When I come home and I have a deck in the backyard, we have 1 minute. Oh, he's holding it. Okay, got it. When I come home and I have a deck in my backyard and I'm just chilling and I look to the right and there's a pizza oven and I look to the left, there's a little fireplace and a pond.
That's what makes it home for you.
Right. I don't care what I spent. I'm like, yeah, there's nothing going on. But all right, we're going to take a quick break. We've got Tracy Freeman, tsfhomes.com in studio. But I want to say, when we come back, I'm going to ask her the tough questions. What happens if we're not a match? What happens if there's a closing and the buyers or the sellers don't show? Like, how do you handle disasters? And maybe you can share a few nightmare stories that we have when we come back. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done on 101 WRIF, everything that rocks. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We have such a great show going on this morning. In studio with me is Tracy Freeman, TSF Homes. Tracy Freeman, Realtor extraordinaire. And we've been talking about real estate. Should you list your house now? MLS, anything that happens. But now it's time to really make sure that if you're a listener and you really want to hire, not fire, a real estate agent, what are you going to ask them that is going to really put them on notice that you're serious and you really want to have your house listed where it's a real pro going to do and sell it, not just take the listing, tell you what you want to hear, and then hope the MLS does the work? Are there people out there that do that, Trace?
Yes.
There are.
Yeah.
So you know what you want the homeowner to know.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever had questions asked to you from homeowners that you're just like, why are they asking this? Or that indicate like, hey, they've been prepped on what to ask?
A little bit. I mean, I always, and I lead with this stat because I think prospective sellers should ask, what's your track record? If you, over
like
past
a list
year.
to sell ratio?
Yeah, exactly. Because so in 2024, I got to update this for 2025 now. I feel like we're deep in 2025. In 2024, my listing sold for, I think, 98% of list price.
Really?
That's a stat I'm really proud of. And it's because I set really solid expectations with my sellers. And I think, perhaps to my detriment, I am very honest with prospective sellers. And I think I've lost some listings because I won't just agree to, oh, you think your home's worth $800,000. Let's list it. Let's do it. And I think, because there are agents out there that will just agree. And then, it just sits and it rots on the MLS for months.
It's funny. In home improvement, my dad, who was a legend in the business, he said to me, you become really good at what you do when you learn how to say no.
Mm-hmm.
And, in all senses of the words, you just literally just said, yeah, I know how to say no to homeowners. And I've told homeowners, hey, Mrs. Jones, I can't do your kitchen the way you want it because I don't think we're a match. I'm not going to be able to give you the quality and the level at the price you're paying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to pass on the project. And to watch people, first of all, to grow the cojones just to tell someone that, it was really tough, but I did it. And my dad helped me, obviously. But at the same time, because you want to sell everybody, you want to tell yes, you want yes to everything. But saying no gets you to the yes quicker.
Well, I think it kind of comes down of knowing the value that you bring.
Sure.
You as a contractor, me as a realtor. I get asked all the time, oh, well, I talk to my friends, cousin, sister, they'll list my house for 1%. Will you list it for 1%? And I think that's a really hot question for realtors right now.
Yeah.
And it's showing the value that you bring, of why realtors earn their fees and what I'm going to do to sell your home quickly, and bring you a great quality buyer.
And I love that. And you know what? Most homeowners need to know. So if a if a homeowner calls you
mm-hmm.
and they said, I heard this radio show and I'm thinking of listing my show,
mm-hmm.
my house. What's the first thing you tell them? I mean, let's assume you're going to meet them at their house.
Yeah.
What's like? How does that conversation go?
Yeah. I just like to learn a little bit more about them first, about why they're moving, where they want to go, just kind of what their motivations are, what their timeline looks like. And we go from there. And then I feel like that's kind of our initial conversation. I like to then meet them at their house, see their home, give some, suggestions about what we can do to get it ready for list. And sometimes people get really overwhelmed like that. Like, oh, I got to get it cleaned. I got to pack. Like, what am I going to do with my stuff?
Information overload causes anxiety.
Yeah. But I have a whole database of people that can help with it. We need paint. You helped me I was in a crunch a couple weeks ago. You helped me with a painter.
Did he do a good job?
Did a great job. The home is now sold.
Did you hear that, folks? She used Hire It Done. Just I want to little pat myself on the back. Hire It Done. Okay, so go back to what you're saying.
Yeah, no, but it's true. I needed a painter. Your guy was out there next day, did a great job for a fair price. The home is sold now.
H&H, was it H&H? Javier?
Yeah.
Javier.
Yeah.
Vato.
So thanks, Javi. Yeah.
Good kid. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So let me ask you. I'm gonna play devil's advocate really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mrs. Freeman, I went to your website, heard the radio show. I got this condo. It's up for sale already. I want to list it with you. What are you going to do for me? I'm going to pay you the listing agreement. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do for me that's going to sell my condo?
How are we going to generate interest?
Yeah, please tell me that.
Yeah.
Just walk me through that.
Yeah. So we'll get, because it sounds like this home has already been on the market.
Yeah.
We'll
90 days.
We'll take fresh.
No offers.
No offers. We'll take fresh photos. We'll get drone. We'll do video photos. We'll put it all over. Of course, we're going to list it on the MLS. We'll run ads in other areas too. We can do, boost it on Zillow, on Realtor.com. We can use social media, Facebook. So many people click. They find homes on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. So we can get creative. We can do broker opens. We talked a little bit about
broker opens. That's important to me.
We talked about open houses earlier on the show. Right. I think broker opens are more effective.
Okay, so let me stop you right there. TSF Homes is out of KW Domain.
Correct.
TSF Home gets my listing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you tell your office? Are you at Birmingham, Bloomfield? Which office are you out of?
I'm out of Bloomfield.
Okay, so either way, does the notification go to all the KW Domain people in the area?
Yes.
And then are they required to show up, or is it just, hey, we have this new listing, condo, Bloomfield Hills, drop dead gorgeous. This one's not going to last long. I want everyone, blah, blah, blah. So is that how you do that? How do you generate people to show up?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So yes, KW Domain is the largest brokerage in the area. So what's great from that perspective is that I access to a huge network of agents who are all operating out of this geographical location. But with Broker Open, it's open to all brokers in Oakland County. So every Tuesday morning, there's Broker Open. So instead of like anybody being able to just kind of, oh, look, open house sign, let's wander in here. Yeah. It's just for agents. So agents can go
exclusive,
in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Check it out.
They can check it out. They can call their clients and say, you know what, maybe we should go check out this condo. It's been they refreshed it. Let's go check it out. Maybe it's got a new price.
Right.
But I think it's a great way for agents to preview homes before they hit, or in this instance, kind of like re-hit the market.
So should I expect you to have the broker open at my place, even though I've listed it for 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I expect 5 brokers to show up? Is it over a 3-day period? Is it over a 1-day period? Or is it like, oh, I'm going to bring champagne and cookies and smells and stuff and get all the brokers
smells. Big on the smells. Yeah. So usually what we'll do is it's Tuesday morning. So it's just 1 day, 3 hours.
Perfect.
We're going to bring lunch. We can bring whatever. If you really want cookies, I'm going to bring cookies, smells. We'll bring all those goodies and we're going to try to get as many agents there as possible.
By the way, you know who has good cookies? Like really good cookies?
Who?
And I'm not talking like the crumble thing like that. Yeah, right. Plum Market.
Oh, well, I love Plum Market. Yeah.
Right? I went there last night, and I don't mean to digress, but I went to Plum Market, and they have Bakehouse cookies.
Yeah.
No, it's not Zingerman's. It just says Plum Market Bakehouse.
Yeah.
I bought some like chocolate babka too. They had a really nice one there. But I've been like secretly loving their cookies because they have the really good chocolate chips in it.
Uh-huh.
And there's a little bit of crunch, but a little bit of goo.
Okay.
So it's got crunch and goo.
Crunch and goo.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the way I like
it. All right. Well, all my broker opens going forward, we're going to have the crunch and goo cookies.
Right.
Okay.
Well, listen, if you need to have a reputation besides just selling every home you list. You need to be like, oh, Tracy's got an open house. She's got the best cookies.
Yeah.
I'm going to Tracy's.
You know what? It sounds silly, but like people get like, oh, like I'm in the neighborhood, drive by, you pop it, and so that's what
It's networking. That's the original
Exactly.
social networking, by the way, is open houses.
Right. Like before you could like click through everything and just see
Right.
it all on Zillow to begin. Yeah.
What's your opinion of these fly in, zoom in, drone shots into the kitchen, and then a quick zoom, and then back, and it's the real estate agent walking through the front door with their arms. Hey, whoa, what up, go? And then you got all this going on. I'm like, wait a minute, what's this?
Yeah.
Is it just because that's what the trend was? And I can see it fizzling out fast already.
Yeah. I mean, I think drone shots are great. It kind of depends. So if you want to showcase, maybe this home is on a great lot.
Yeah.
It's a great home. Let's say, maybe it's an expensive home. You want to showcase that it's around other estates. Like you're not going to be, the nicest home on the block. So I think drone shots have a time and a place for marketing. Do I think every home needs drone shots and video and the realtor walking around? No. I just don't think it's effective. But I think like if you're trying to showcase the lot, maybe it backs up to Gilbert Lake. Maybe it's next to all, beautiful estates, and you want to show that. Maybe you wouldn't get that just from the, front view of the home.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's really effective.
Okay. I like that. What happens when you walk through a house and you see some defects or the homeowner wants to hide stuff? Do you ever have that happen? And you're like, listen, we have to disclose this.
Yeah. So you do have, so there is with every, listing, there's a seller's disclosure sheet that's going to ask about things that affect the integrity of the home.
Is it really called the seller's liar sheet?
Well, you know
You're
what?
not allowed to say that.
Yes. And I coach all my clients to fill it out as honestly as possible. Right. So if you know that there was water.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. You can't, I mean, it's all going to, you know what? You can lie on it. It's all going to come out during the inspection anyway.
No, I 100% get that. I get it. Now, what about like houses that have like well water or, not city water? Do you have to have special testing?
As the prospective buyer during your inspection period, yes, I would highly recommend testing the water.
How important is radon?
So,
right?
Yeah. So people do a radon test during the inspection. So while you're getting your general home inspection, everything's getting tested. People get really nervous. Like, oh, radon.
I've been living in the house 30 years and never heard of radon until like recently. And they're going to do a radon test. And now if they find radon and I've been living here 30 years, no wonder I'm bald.
Right. Yeah, no.
No wonder I had a third eye coming out of my forehead.
Well, what I tell all my homeowners, regardless, is like, okay, during the inspection period, spend the $100, do the radon test. But I would buy, and I have this in my own home, an air quality monitor, because you're only testing 1 day in time. Radon could be there in 3 months. So why don't you get,
really?
An air quality.
So why don't you give it free to everybody?
I should. Maybe that's going to be my new closing gift.
Right?
Yeah.
Get some TSF logos on it. That's not kind of a bad idea.
Maybe we'll co-brand it. That'll be our first collaboration.
Meanwhile, Hire It Done has a contractor, Beauchamp water treatment.
Yeah.
And he does water quality, water cleaning, like softeners and stuff.
Okay.
I want you to refer him because free clean water is the future. I just want everyone to know that I believe it. And it's, he's one of our sponsors, Beauchamp Water. You've heard me talk about him, I'm sure. He's the best. He's the king of water.
Okay.
But he does things like that. So I'm just was curious, because I've always wanted to like collaborate with real estate agents with Hire It Done. But I also don't want my contractors running around giving quotes to homeowners.
Okay.
Based on, we're going to buy this house. Can you give us a quote on this kitchen potentially if we buy the house? I don't want, it's called unpaid consulting with my guys. I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. So I just want to help that. So, all right, Tracy, give everyone the information on how to get a hold of you. If you're a real estate agent, you want to up your game, give Tracy a call. She's looking to grow her team. If you're a homeowner, want to sell, you want to list, or you want to buy. We haven't even gotten to that. We have to do another one on buying. Yeah. Tell everyone your information.
TSFhomes.com. And of course, you can call or text me anytime, 248-772-1997.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Great information as always.
Thank you.
So anyone, if you have more information, I'd like to let you know, just visit hireitdone.com. We have the best contractors, best real estate agents, the best of the best, right? Don't do it yourself, my friends. Hire It Done. This is Adam Helfman. You're listening to WRIF 101.1, Everything That Rocks. I'll see you next week.